I think it's a black diamond. Yep.
Welcome to Franconia, New Hampshire. Tucked in the White Mountains, a place where rugged history, local legends, and some serious fun single track all come together. This video will highlight two trails, the Dark Side and S&L. Along the way, I'll share a little history and a touch of folklore, and of course, what makes these trails worth the ride. Franconia might be best known for the Old Man in the Mountain, New Hampshire's famous stone profile that once looked over Franconia Notch. It collapsed in 2003, but the legend still lingers. Local Abenaki stories tell of a great spirit watching over the valley, and even now some hikers say they feel a presence here in the Notch. Just across the way in another rock formation is the Old Woman of the Notch. She is sometimes called the Watcher. She is not as famous, but when the fog rolls in, she definitely has a ghostly vibe. If you'd like to see the Old Woman of the Notch, go to the south end of Profile Lake while looking to the highest part of Eagle Cliff. This trail winds through dense woodlands along the Tucker Brook, dropping about 350 feet in just under a mile. Along the way, you'll weave over roots and rocks, and about halfway through, you'll be rewarded with the sights and sounds of a waterfall. Woo!
Down that chute. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yep. Oh, Kevin! I want it. Whew. But we're at the waterfall. Okay, let's see if I can get back into my mojo rhythm here. Must stop for waterfalls. Even if they're small. Before I should go up. S&L is another thrilling trail in Franconia. It's filled with roots and rocks that challenge your balance and add excitement to every turn. Over just a little more than a half mile, it drops 225 feet. Quick, technical, and a ton of fun. As I wheel through the twists and turns on S&L, I'm reminded that Franconia Notch isn't just scenic. It's steeped in stories that stick with you long after your ride. For instance, in 1961, Betty and Barney Hill passed through this notch and later claimed they were abducted by a UFO. They say strange lights hovered close enough to see figures inside. By the time they snapped out of it, it was 2 hours were gone. It's one of the most famous abduction stories in U.S. history, and you can still see the mural honoring their encounter just a bit down Route 3. Though not directly related to Franconia, the tale of the Wiley House in nearby Crawford Notch is legendary. In August of 1826, torrential rains triggered a massive landslide on Mount Wiley. Samuel Wiley Jr. and his family, along with 2 hired men, were at their homes in the Notch when the earth began to tremble. Fearing the worst, they attempted to flee, but the avalanche struck with devastating force. Remarkably, their house remained untouched, standing as silent witness to the calamity. Inside, an open Bible on the table suggested they had left in haste, perhaps in search of safety. The news of this tragedy spread quickly, captivating the public's imagination. The Wiley house, miraculously spared from destruction, became a symbol of both nature's fury and its mercy. Artists and writers were inspired by the event, and among them was Nathaniel Hawthorne. In 1935, he penned The Ambitious Guest, a short story that, while fictional, drew heavily from the real-life disaster. In Hawthorne's tale, family is visited by a traveler who shares their fate when the mountains collapse, echoing the Wiley's family's own demise. Today, the site of the Wiley House is preserved as a historic landmark. Visitors can explore the area, reflect on the family story, and perhaps feel the lingering presence of a time when nature's power reshaped lives in an instant. Thanks for riding along. If you've enjoyed this mix of trails and tales, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more adventures on 2 wheels.